again.
And their legendary head coach, Dot Richardson, who is, there's Dot, 8th season, has really engineered an incredible turnaround at Liberty. They have some of the best facilities in college softball. And you have a legend like Dot Richardson leading the program. That'll happen. We're underway as the first pitch to Autumn Bishop is fouled back. Pretty much based on just a quick glance, Dot going with the exact same lineup in game 2 that she went with in game 1. The only difference is the starting pitcher. I mean, literally 1 through 9 is exactly the same. Bishop Riley, Canetto in the 3-hole. Gibson cleanup as the DP with Caroline Hudson batting 5th behind the plate. Sweat, Wilson, Chanel, and Villa. Lineup for Liberty as the 0-1 pitch is fouled back. No balls and 2 strikes. You like what you've seen from Autumn Bishop today, don't you?
Oh, both sisters, Autumn and Amber in the 1 and 2 hole. These are 2 athletes that have been so important to this Flames program. Every time we get a chance to chat with Coach Richardson, she talks about the leadership from these 2, the Bishop sisters. How they start, they are the spark plug, right? They start this lineup off with power, with gamesmanship. And it's not just the numbers, but it's the IQ at the plate. Seeing a lot of pitches, getting a sense of what this lineup is going to see, and relaying that information back to their dugout. They truly do set the tone for this offense.
It's a 1-2 count. May brings it home. Cold strike 3 on the inside corner. What a start for the freshman. And there is 1 away. You get a very dangerous batter headed back to the dugout.
That's a huge out.
Big start for the freshman. Mentioned one slight adjustment for the Sooners. Nicole Mendez is out in right field. Jana John still getting the start at third. Grace Green in the DP spot. And Tiare Jennings at second with Lyons at short and Snow at first. And Kinsey Hansen is behind the plate. Jada Coleman out in center as the first pitch is popped up towards us. Not quite far enough. I'm ready to make a play. You know what's going to happen is the first time we get a foul ball back here, I'll try to slide this chair backwards and end up falling and
off the podium.
Fall off the podium. I'll end up becoming a meme or a GIF or whatever the kids call it now. Amber Bishop Riley had an incredible game 1 against the Sooners. Finished 2 for 3 with a run scored, 2 RBIs, including the game-tying hit in the 5th inning. She takes the 0-1 pitch a little bit out for ball 1. Every number is just jaw-dropping for what Bishop Riley has done so far this season. That home run total up to 9, 24 RBIs. This is a good challenge for May. Say that a lot. But these lineups are going to get tougher and tougher as the season progresses. She misses up high. With the 1-1, it's 2 balls and a strike. Live look at Amber Bishop Riley's batting average, .431. Not too bad for someone who has had 72 at-bats this season.
Not bad.
2-1. Good pitch, but it just misses.
Yeah, it's another off-speed. You know, back to Nicole May, 27 innings pitched coming into the second matchup. Only 6 walks given up. And she starts this off with a strikeout looking against Autumn Bishop, one of the better or best hitters between her and her sister Amber, who now draws a walk. And the freshman, Nicole May, I think these types of opportunities, having a really nice outing to close game 1, and now grabbing the start in game 2, you're on the Hall of Fame field. You just had a battle against the Flames in game 1. Getting battle tested like this is how you get prepared for conference play, which then turns into chapter 3 of postseason play.
First pitch to Canetto, catches that outside corner, strike 1. Walk to Bishop Riley was the first of the day for May after 2 innings of relief in game 1 where she had not allowed a walk. You know, sometimes when you have a batter as hot as Bishop Riley has been today, it'd be okay to just let her trot on down to first base. Here's the 0-1. Bounce to first. Nice job by Snow. She'll throw to second to cut down the lead runner, and there's 2 away. Wow. I think Taylon Snow is getting pretty confident over there at first base.
I would say again, it's routine plays like that that should easily be taken to first, but when you have a defense that is that fine-tuned, you take the lead out, even when you think it might be impossible. You take that runner out of scoring position, now there's 2 outs on the board.
Here's Blake Gibson with a runner at first, and that's fouled away. Let's take a look at our weather forecast, brought to you by Trails Golf Club. Trails Golf Club of Norman, where you'll experience everything you love about golf and more. 66 degrees, it's gorgeous, and the wind is blowing out of the south at about 16 miles an hour. Beautiful thing is that 0 in front of the precipitation chances after rain kind of hurried things along on Friday, and the threat of it played havoc with our schedule yesterday. It's been beautiful today. 1 swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes. They're again brought to you by the Trails. Learn more right now at trailsgolf.com. Gibson in game 1 went 1 for 3. Lefty waits on the 0-2 pitch as May looks to get out of the first. Ooh, that just misses on the outer edge. It's a big-time play by Talon Snow on the bouncer down the first base line, but think of your Dot Richardson. You trade out Amber Bishop for Kara Caneto, who is 8 of 11 on stolen base opportunities this season. Second on the team in stolen bases for the Liberty Flames. Probably not going anywhere with 2 outs and the 1-2 that's fouled away. Ooh, nice play. Bobbled and caught in the stands. We're just underway in game 2 after the Sooners won game 1 5-4.
I think I just saw Sid Romero sit down
too.
in the stands.
1-2, swing and a miss.
Got her.
Nicole May with that off speed ends the first inning in grand fashion. 2 strikeouts and work around the walk. We head to the bottom of the first inning. Oklahoma and Liberty are scoreless on Sooner Sports TV, presented by OU Health. Oklahoma 21-0 on the season. The first pitch to Tiare Jennings is low and away for ball 1. So third base coach's box, Jennifer Rocha over at first. Starting lineups presented by the OU College of Professional and Continuing Studies. The first 5, actually the first 6 or 7 pretty much stay the same from game 1. As the 1-0 pitch to Jennings is in for a strike. Jennings leading off with Allo batting second. Lyons the shortstop in the 3-hole. Kinsey Hansen in the cleanup spot. Talon Snow at first, and then Jada Coleman in center field, followed by Jana Johns at third. And the ball's fouled away, which is a rarity because 1 through 7 for Coach Gasso is the exact same 7 we had in the lineup in game 1. Grace Greenbat's 8 is the DP. Nicole Coleman is 9th in right field.
Yeah, you said it. I think the only kind of revolving door here is that 8-hole. Yep. 8 and 9 really have some movement going on of figuring out who's going to fill that DP position.
2 is fouled off.
Saw Elam get the start in game 1. Both her and Grace Green finding strikeouts at the plate, but man, when you've got the depth in this OU lineup, there's a plethora of choices that you could pull off the bench to fill that opportunity.
The 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. What a pitch by Emily Kirby, who came in off the bench in game 1. It set the Sooners down with a runner at, well, actually the bases were empty because Jana Johns had been thrown out trying to stretch it at third. There's a look at Emily Kirby's stats. 4-2 on the season. This is her 9th appearance, 7th start, an ERA of 3.13. And with 1 out, Jocelyn Allo tries to the plate.
5th strikeout of the year for Tiare Jennings.
She's been so smooth at the plate as the first pitch to Allo is a little low and away for ball 1. One of the big debates we've had is teams will inevitably stop pitching to Jocelyn Allo. Not the case today, as the 1-0 is bounced into right field, a base hit. Well, there's a way to remove any drama of extending the hitting streak in her first at bat. Jocelyn Allo has now hit safely in 36 straight games. By our calculations, it's an Oklahoma record. Unbelievable.
This one hung over the middle of the plate. goes opposite field. And to your point, I think she absolutely will face pitchers that throw less and less strikes to her, if at all. But the thing that she does so well, which I, again, hate to compare her back to the home run record queen herself, Lauren Chamberlain mastered hitting balls out of the yard that weren't necessarily in the strike zone. And I think that is what Jocelyn Allo is figuring out, is that I've got to hit balls that aren't necessarily in the textbook strike zone, but that I can still handle.
The 0-1 pitch to line, swing and a miss, strike 2. So Jocelyn Allo rips the second pitch she sees on the day into right field for the first hit for either team. Here's the 0-2 to Lyons. Pop foul and out of play. Grace Lyons sitting at .452 on the season. 9 home runs for Grace. And our first Boomer Sooner chant that bellows through USA Softball Hall of Fame Stadium. The runner at first and 1 out. The 0-2 popped up. That's going to get out of play. Gives us an opportunity to look at Aaron Miller's keys to the game, brought to you by Riverwind. Still the 1. Aaron, what are you looking for today?
Offensive response. In game 1, you saw in the 3rd inning, Liberty really comes back with some momentum. They take advantage of a couple walks out of the hands of G. Juarez. And you'd like to see OU come back with a little bit of response at the plate. This is obviously a team that knows how to hit the ball and hit the ball hard. But how can they apply pressure in other ways that aren't necessarily the long ball?
And 2 pitches up and away, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
The other one is just legends. You've got 2 legends on this field that are battling it out. I think Dot Richardson wanting to show up and prove that this team can hang with the best of the best, and you know that they can.
1-2 is lined into right center field. It's trouble. It falls for a hit. Grace Lyons with the base hit, and the Sooners have something cooking with 1 out here in the bottom of the 1st inning. Lyons' first hit of the day.
This one right off the end of the bat. She just leans into that strike zone to get the barrel on it. Finds the green. That'll have 2 on. Now set up for the 4-hole, and Kinsey Hansen, who has just been lights out for this offense.
Yeah, Kinsey Hansen homered in game 1. She's 1 for 3 on the day with a run scored and an RBI. And in Wednesday night's game, when you were with us, we started talking about Hansen being our player to watch, or maybe you had him in the key of the game, and it really challenged me to go back and look on this incredible run she's been on recently. As the first pitch to Hansen is a little up for ball 1. We talk a lot about what, and understandably so, what Jocelyn Allo has done this season. Hansen has a nice little 6-game hitting streak of her own.
And 11 bombs already on the year.
That's not a bad number to add.
Oh my gosh.
And her 11th home run in the first game today. Here's the 1-0 outside. And that 6-game hitting streak that she has finally put together. Actually, I have Kinsey Hansen's hitting streak at 8. Anyway, Hansen also falls in our spotlight, our OU Health player to watch. And understandably so. Look at those overall numbers. 516 on the season. You mentioned 11 home runs, 27 RBIs. And she takes the 2-0 pitch outside for ball 3. OU Health, the future of health is here. Think about Hansen against Kansas City, went 1 for 3 against Houston. Friday morning went 1 for 2 with a run scored and an RBI. Dot Richardson's going to take a walk out to the circle.
72 home runs.
Unbelievable.
42 of them off the bat of Tiari Jennings, Jocelyn Allo, and Kinsey Hansen. Those 3 athletes carry over half of the home runs. And
consider this, Kinsey Hansen hasn't played in every game this season. There's been a couple of games that Lindsey Elam got the start and she came off the bench.
Hansen started in 19 of the 21 games.
72 home runs for the Sooners this season already, averaging 12 runs per game. Now give this well-coached Liberty team credit, and not just Dot Richardson, but Their pitching coach, Paige Cassidy, did a heck of a job in the game that they called in the first matchup between these two teams. Meeting is over. The 3-0 pitch to Hansen is ball 4. Bases are loaded with only 1 out in the bottom of the first inning for Taylon Snow. Taylon Snow, I don't know if you can say anyone is quietly having a solid start to their season, but with all the talk about Allo and Hansen and the freshman, Taylon Snow is off to a great start. I mean, 434. That pitch is a little up, ball 1.
So I'm going to reverse the roles really quick. I'm going to go play-by-play on you and ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Because you're very close to this team. You've called them now for, what, 6 seasons?
My 6th season, that's right.
Is there anything that sticks out to you about this squad that's different from the past 5 seasons that you've called?
That's a very good question. Usually you could have a conversation as the count's 2-0 here to Snow about the camaraderie, right? Because team dinners after games, but that's so different with all the COVID protocols that are currently in place. The 2-0 pitch. That's a strike, 2-1. I would say the leadership comes from so many different places. Because I felt like, you know, there was defined leaders,
right?
And it was Aaron Miller and Katie Self in 16, and it was, you know, Paige and that group in 17.
Right. Kelsey and Sydney,
2-1 is a fister that rolled awkwardly down the third baseline. Nice job by Wilson to stay with it. She gloves it, tags the bag to get the lead runner, but no play at first, and the first run of the game scores on what looked like a sand wedge that somehow hit the green and spun.
We actually saw a similar one of those in game 1. It just kind of spin. It looked like it was going to go on foul territory. Here's a good angle. It looks like it was going to go on the other side of the white line, but stayed fair.
I have the hardest time sometimes with those balls because you're so certain they're going to go foul, and then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, that ball's staying fair somehow. So 2 outs, 1 zip Sooners. Here's Jada Coleman with runners at first and second base. She had a 3-hit game in game 1 and fouls the first pitch back. Jada, you want to talk about some incredible stats already that the freshman has put together with that 3-hit game for Coleman. Already the second 3-hit game of her Sooner career and her 7th multiple hit game on the season. She takes the 0-1 pitch for a ball, and I'll tell you what, that's a pretty good pitch. I hope that's a strike for Nicole May.
Back to your point, though, I think on the leadership thing.
Oh, we'll expand on that, absolutely.
You've got a lot of freshmen.
Yeah.
Right, so you've got a lot of new faces, and I think there's this assumption, this one high.
I mean, a mile high. This could be trouble, but racing in and dropped. The center fielder, Carnetto, dropped it. Coleman hustling into second, Snow to third, and Kinsey Hansen scores the second run of the game. Challenging pop-up in this wind and battling the sun. Carnetto had it just pop out of her glove. 2-zip Sooners. These are challenging plays, Aaron, in no man's land.
Yeah, I think that one came right off the handle. That's why it kind of popped right up in the air. She just could not get the barrel all the way through. But Carnetto and center just couldn't handle it. We've got a high sky, something to consider. The sun is completely out. People have the visors on, the sunglasses.
Johns pops one up, too. This one, oh, look out, Coach Gasso. Oh, no, dropped in foul territory by Wilson. Patty Gasso was trying to get out of the way. She was in the coach's box, so there's nothing wrong there. And Wilson kind of ran into Coach and had the ball pop out of her glove.
You could see the argument.
I understand the concern, but Coach Gasso was very much
in her ground,
in her element, and did everything she could to get out of the way. So it was a foul ball. That means back to work for Jana Johns. Can she make Kirby pay here? The 0-1, fouled straight back. And I'll add, too, from a leadership perspective, I think for some of the teams, I'm not saying this just because you're here, but I think the 17 team at times struggled because they didn't have Aaron Miller or Katie Self, and they came together late in the season. I think 18 was a year when everyone was kind of trying to figure out who was going to step up, and then CC and Sid took those reins
totally
in what, 19. So I think last year was one of those years where a lot of people got to grow in a short amount of time as the 0-2 pitch is up and away for a ball. And while you mentioned a very young team, it's also a squad that has in Jana Johns, a senior, but this is her first year at OU. You know, a senior in Taylor Snow, but only her first full season.
Right.
Just everyone's adding a little bit to that leadership, and it's been fun to watch. The 1-2 is an I didn't mean to check swing, slow roller to second. Bishop Riley up with it, throws to first, and the inning is over. First pitch in the top of the second inning to Caroline Hudson is in for a strike from Nicole May. Oklahoma strikes first with a 2-run bottom of the first inning. And I think we're still trying to figure out exactly how that all went down. The 0-1 is another I didn't mean to check swing right to Jana Johns, who throws and gets her at first, 1 away. I mean, you had Allo get the single to extend her hitting streak to 36 straight. Grace Lyons had a base hit, walked Hanson to load the bases. You had the fielder's choice by Taylon Snow that scored the first run on that funky spin that took place down the third baseline. And Coleman pops out to center field, but Carnetto has it pop out of her glove. And then Jana Johns grounded out after Wilson had semi-collided with Coach Gasso in foul territory and dropped the pop-up.
Not that I'll ever excuse a dropped pop-up, but we have not a cloud in the sky.
That's tough.
And the sun is completely out.
Here's the 1-0. That's popped up. That's trouble over the head of Lyons and into left center field. It's a base hit for Emily Sweat. That's the first hit of the game. Second base runner for the Liberty Flames. Yeah, you know, I can't even imagine. You know, everyone's broke out. It looks like the sunglasses in the outfield now.
Do you know what a high sky is? Have you heard of that?
I've heard of it, yeah. But usually I just consider it whenever there's no clouds in the sky.
Here, what happens, because I was an outfielder and I struggled with high sky. When there's no clouds, it kind of messes with your depth perception. Because you have no reference, right, of where the ball is in the sky. It's kind of trippy. We've talked about the optical illusion of this field. When you got a high sky, it's a hard read off of the bat.
Mary Claire Wilson digs in from the left side of the plate. Here's the 0-1. Good pitch on the outside corner, no balls and 2 strikes. I'll tell you what, these two teams had a Donnybrook in game 1. Sooners held on to win it 5-4 in the rally, and kind of the last right hook was thrown by Nicole May, who came in the 7th and the 6th for that matter. She's been good to start this game. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. I mean, that's exactly where you want to put that pitch against a slapper. 2 away.
It's the third K for Nicole May, and I'm rhyming, rapping up here.
So far, she's gone all the way for the Sooners.
It's a nice spot on the outer half. You said it. Perfect spot against a lefty running through that box.
Here's Savannah Chanel. First pitch to the shortstop is popped up. Is there going to be a play for Johns or Hanson? No. Couple rows up. We said this in game 1. There is just something pretty cool about looking out and seeing the fans here. Good crowd for 25% capacity in a game that wasn't even scheduled to be played here in Oklahoma City today. This game against Liberty was originally scheduled for a Marita Hines Field showdown. The 0-1. Just in.
Well, I, for one, am happy that we are at the Hall of Fame.
Shorter drive from Edmond, I
Shorter
imagine.
drive, but any excuse to be at the Holy Land is what we call it at OU. This is where you win championships. Yeah,
right.
Exactly. Any excuse to get on this field.
Here's the 1-ball, 1-strike pitch. Is made. Long look. Brings it home. I didn't miss by much. Just a little bit low. Good job by Hanson to frame that. Our kind of breaking down the fourth wall here. In our broadcast booth, the feeds we have are, what would you say, maybe a split second behind the actual feed, so it gives us an opportunity to see where the pitch actually was, and that did not miss by much. It's the 2-1. Another pitch that Might have been a bit of a makeup call. She gets the call in the outside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Another good frame job by Kinsey Hansen. 2-zip Sooners, top of the 2nd inning. May brings home the 2-2 pitch. Turned on, foul, and out of play down the left field line. Our next trip to the Holy Land, USA Softball Hall of Fame Stadium, will be for the Big 12 tournament. It will be the first Big 12 tournament played at OG&E Energy Field. 3 years. 2-2. Hard hit ball right at Johns, who snags it to end the inning. We'll go more in depth on that when we come back as we head to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Oklahoma leads Liberty 2-0 here in the bottom of the 2nd inning after the true definition of manufacturing a couple of first-inning runs. Here's the 0-1 to Green. Swing and a miss. 0-2. You notice something on Grace. That first step is always out for her. It's been kind of consistent in her career.
It has. That first stride foot after loading that weight back kind of open. They call it stepping in the bucket, where that front side kind of opens up towards the pitcher. I'm not sure if this is contributing to maybe some of her struggles, but I know from a scouting perspective, when you're pitch calling and you're seeing areas of weakness in hitters, if you see somebody's weight kind of opening up, working away from the strike zone, you're going to stay on the opposite side of the plate.
The 1-2 pitch to the Sooner DP today. That's a little up. Green got an at-bat in game 1. She came in to pinch hit late. Struck out in her only appearance against Kirby. Season, she's hitting .458, only 28 at-bats so far. She's 11 of her first 24 with 9 RBIs and 5 walks. The 2-2. Side 3-2. Sooners won game 1, 5-4. Lead here in game 2, 2-0. In the 8-9 spots here, it's 2 players that did not start in game 1, so Mendez waits on deck. Here's the full count pitch, ball 4. Sooners have the leadoff hitter aboard for the first time today. And on the day, it's the 4th time they've had the leadoff hitter aboard. Oh, make that the 5th. Forgot T.R.A. Jennings led off game 1 with a single. We'll likely see a pinch runner here.
I do think that is what is happening. Coach Gasso making the call.
See if maybe by this weekend we can have an update on Rayleigh Pogue for you. She had typically been the first runner off the bench for the Sooners. Pinch runner, that is. I call it the Reagan Rogers. At one point it was the Aaron Miller.
It
right?
was. It
Back
was.
in, what would that be?
13.
13? In this case, it's the Mackenzie Donahue who will pinch run. And it's a key. I'm not making light of it. It's an important position because you have someone who maybe isn't as fast or maybe is battling with a bit of an injury. You have to have a base runner that you can trust and is fast. And Mackenzie Donahue is that. And she'll pinch run here with Nicole Mendez at the plate. Mindy did not start in game 1. In fact, she didn't even end up getting it at bat as the first pitch is low and in for a ball. That was, looking back, that was an odd scenario because she came in the field, went to left field, and they moved her to right. Then when she was supposed to pinch hit, they brought in a left-handed pitcher, so they pinched it with Donahue, who then ended up basically allowing the game-winning run to come home on a wild pitch on a missed bunt. The 1-0 is low for ball 2. Not a lot about today has just been normal run-of-the-mill softball, as we're going to have a trip to the circle here from Paige Cassidy. She's seen something in Emily Kirby that she wants to work on. Looks as if she's kind of working down on that landing spot a bit, even further beyond that in the front of the circle. But for Mendez, finally getting an opportunity to get an at-bat today, and I would imagine for her there's some frustration because That was a tough play that she had to make fresh off the bench on the fly ball that got caught up in the wind in game 1.
Only 17 starts for Mendez coming into today.
Got caught up in a bout of contact tracing, which did not allow her to make the trip to Houston, which was really, from a storyline perspective, heartbreaking. As a super senior, redshirt senior, fifth-year senior, however you want to describe it, would have been her last trip to Houston, but she's starting to get things right. This little 3-game hitting streak going, went 2 for 3 with a couple of runs scored in the second game against Houston. First game against Houston, excuse me, yesterday. 2-0, and it's not going. It's a called strike. In fact, Mindy, in the games against Houston and Kansas City, went 3 for 4 with 3 runs scored yesterday. Not coming off a Wednesday game where she drove in a couple of runs, went 1 for 2 with a run scored. So hitting the ball better recently. The 2-1 soft slap to short, going to be tough to get her at first. No way. She beats it out.
Perfectly placed. Wilson at shortstop playing pretty deep, so that's a perfect spot for Mendez just to pepper this ball into the infield.
That's hit hard.
It's hit hard. Oh, yeah. No, it is. And honestly, I have so much respect for the short game because it takes so much barrel control to get the ball placed exactly where you want it. Takes so much practice.
Well, here's Tiare Jennings. You mentioned it, doesn't strike out much, a strikeout victim in the first. And she takes the first pitch here in the bottom of the second inning for strike 1. Not the first pitch of the inning, but the first pitch to her. Mendez at first, the pinch runner Donahue at second. Kinsey was wanting a new set of signs from Patty Gasso, and coach said, we're good. Here's the 0-1. Hard hit ball down the right field line, slicing foul and out of play. Look out. Like one of the USA softball crew had found him a seat to kind of catch a quick little break and nearly ended up taking one off the foot. 0-2 pitch. Jennings finds herself in a tough spot here. Here it comes. Swung on and hit deep to center field, but not deep enough. Right where Carnetto was positioned, and tagging to advance is Donahue on the catch, and she'll get to third. Mendez wisely moves up.
Pinch runner coming in clutch, right? You've got that speed to tag and go on an easy fly ball out to dead center.
Here's Jocelyn Allo. There's Donahue at third. Wait, we haven't seen Jocelyn bunt. Maybe it's
laughable.
First base is open here with Mendez at second, Donahue at third. Sooners up 2-0, bottom of the second inning. Allo's 1 for 1, the pitch. That ball is long gone to left field. Let's go, Jocelyn Allo. Are you kidding me right now? A no-doubter over the left field wall, and Oklahoma has opened up a 5-0 lead on a blast over the left field wall by the Sooner slugger. Home run number 19 on the season. RBIs 47, 48, and 49. That was a blast.
I mean, it almost looks too easy when you see her swing. It's so effortless. I guess that's exactly what you want to see in an athlete, right? That's on a tear like this. The ball just looks like a beach ball coming into her at the plate.
We're going to see a new pitcher here for Liberty. I don't think I'm over that. I don't think I'll be over that. That still makes no sense. Here's the 1-0. Lyons takes a stride. Nice pitch.
It's good.
Feverishly pouring through the record books here. A couple of notes on Jocelyn Allo. She now 72 career home runs. Sounds wild to say just 23 shy of Lowe. The 1-1 pitch is a good pitch on the inside.
Have we mentioned she could come back for another year?
We have not mentioned that yet, but it bears mentioning that she can come back for another year. You're absolutely right. The RBI in her career, 197, which has tied her for 6th all-time in Sooner softball history. The 1-2 to Lions. That ball's ripped deep to left field, but foul. So unofficially, Alo is now tied for 6th in career RBIs with Shea Knighton with 197 on her career.
How do we make it official?
I got to make sure my math is right. Addition has never been my strong suit. That's how you make it official. The 1-2 misses Owen and 2-2. Listen,
we got to have Patrick sign off on
that's the key. I mean, I have my math. You can make fun of me for being off on it, but Patrick Dunn is my solidifier. He makes sure it's all right. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch to Lyons. Off speed. She hits this one long and deep to center field and out of here. Oh, baby, what a shot off the bat of Grace Lyons as she clubs one over the center field wall, and Oklahoma's bats are smoking against the Flames. Make it 6-0 Sooners.
And make it the 10th bomb off the bat of Grace Lyons, the junior shortstop who is a part of this power quad, I like to call the first 4 hitters of this lineup for the Sooners, carrying the load of home runs.
Home runs this season are brought to you by Whataburger. It's the greatest investment in advertisement in the history of ever that Whataburger is sponsoring home runs for Sooners softball this season. Here's Kinsey Hansen. Heck, Hansen might go back to back to back with the way she's been hitting the ball this season. First pitch. She clubs one deep to left field. If it's fair, it's gone. It's gone! Back to back to back bombs, and Oklahoma is in complete control, and the dugout is going crazy. 7-0 Sooners.
I have no words anymore. How do you even put this in perspective? I mean, the power. Look at that swing. I don't know what they're feeding this team, but I need to find out.
That ball just stayed fair. You got a sense on the replay of the dugout, and we're going to see yet another pitching change for Dot Richardson and the Liberty Flames. We'll tell you, Oklahoma has put 5 on the board, a crooked number here in the second. They've gone back to back to back, and here's Taylon Snow on bombs from Alo, Lyons, and Hansen. First pitch all the way to the backstop, ball 1. All right, you ready? Which bomb in your mind went the farthest? Oh, I love to see that. Look at that dugout. They're fired up right now. 7-0 Sooners. Which bomb went the farthest, you think?
Alo's was pretty far.
230 for Grace Lyons home run.
Nice.
How about that? The 1-0, little up. 215, actually, 215 because it's 200 down the line. 215 for Jocelyn Alos, 230 for Grace Lyons, and then I don't think that number is right. They said 212 on Kinsey Hansen's as the 2-0 pitch is in for a strike. I disagree with Sam on that. That one by Hansen. There had to be some interference with our flight scope on that. Regardless, how many teams go back to back to back and you think that next hitter could go yard 2, but that's exactly what you think with Taylon Snow, who takes the 2-1 pitch for ball 3. 3. Waiting on deck is Jada Coleman. The 3-1. Ball 4. There's still only 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning. Coleman reached on the first inning error on the fly ball to center field. Jana Johns in the on-deck circle. This has been what we've typically seen from this Sooner attack when they have a close game. First pitch to Coleman is away. They have a game after, they'll come out on fire.
75. 75 home runs through 22 games.
Pretty good average.
Whoa. I just...
1-0 to Coleman. She was swinging for the fences. Swung through it, strike one. No one wants to take credit. I like to give credit to Dane Summers and the strength and conditioning program. They've done a great job. The 1-1. Little looper to left field. It's trouble and it falls for a hit. Jada Coleman with her 4th hit of the day. She's been on base every single time she stepped to the plate today. Snow had to hesitate for a moment, but is able to get to second base. And here's the 9th batter of the inning in Jana Johns.
Coleman does such a nice job of placing all of her short game. This one just peppered right into the outfield. She's able to stand in. She's able to run through the box, able to lay down and bunt. When you've got that type of speed, so many weapons at the plate.
Johns grounded out to second her last time up. First pitch. Ooh, she had a mighty cut and swung through a fastball for strike one.
Well, one of the key points we talked about, response.
That's right.
And this team was challenged. Game 1, Liberty brought it. I mean, it wasn't anything that they didn't have. This wasn't luck. This was talent. I mean, they came to play. They came to prove something. OU gets tested, a 1-run win that really was on a pass ball, let's be honest. And OU has to respond. You see a 7-0 lead now through 2 innings.
The one pitch was a little bit up, so here comes the 1-1 from Naomi Jones. And this is ripped into right center field. It will get to the wall. Easily scoring is Snow. Here comes Coleman. She'll score. It's a 2-run double from Jana Johns. It's a 7-run second. And the Sooners have put this game in run rule territory. It's 9-0 Oklahoma.
So well hit. That one elevated up in the zone. Line shot to right center field, and she'll grab herself a stand-up double.
And the Sooners will officially bat around here in the second inning. Mackenzie Donahue, who had checked into Pinge run, will bat here in what was Grace Green's spot, and the first pitch to Donahue is fouled back. Green walked to start this inning, and then Donahue came on to Pinge run, and so McKenzie will get her first at bat, well, her second true at bat of the day. She was at the plate. I keep saying wild pitch. It was officially ruled a pass ball in game 1 that led to the Sooner go-ahead run, and she fouls back the 0-1. I'm a former catcher, so I'm always going to blame the pitcher.
Of course.
So, wild pitch in my book. Y'all can say pass ball all you want.
Nothing got by playing.
Nothing. Nothing like a catcher who didn't have a good arm. How does that even work? Here's the 0-2 pitch to Donahue. Pops it up. 9 home plate. Oh, nearly a great play by Hudson. She couldn't come up with it. And we'll do it again. 7 runs for the Sooners here in the second inning. 8 hits, which matches their total in game 1. Had 8 hits in game 1. And an 0-2 count here for the Mustang product, who pops it up on the infield. Bishop's under it for the catch over at first, and there is 2 away. Here's the 11th batter this inning, Nicole Mendez, who singled and walked home on the 3-run bomb from Jocelyn Allo. So, see, Allo in game 1 did not have but 1 RBI. The numbers on her multiple RBI games are pretty impressive in her career. As the first pitch to Nicole Mendez is pop foul and out of play. With today, Jocelyn has, and yesterday, 54 multiple RBI games in her career.
Wow. A lot of those coming from hitting herself in.
That's very true. That's very true. Here's the 0-1 to Mindy with a runner at second. Wild pitch all the way to the backstop. Johns will take off for third. Now the chance for the Sooners to put a 10th run on the board is just 60 feet away. It's a 1-1 count to the Sooner senior right field. Here's the 1-1. Up and away, 2 balls and a strike. This reminds me a lot of what happened in the game we had on Wednesday night, where Oklahoma kind of had a first 2-inning explosion. Put it on cruise control from there. I don't think Liberty's going to go away, but Sooners are in a good spot here up 9-zip. The pitch to Mindy is ripped foul and out of play. Johns at third had the clutch 2-run double. Put this game in game-shortening territory. We're only in the bottom of the second. 2-2.
There's still a lot of ball game left, even in run rule territory.
Yeah.
There are still opportunities left for Liberty, and
yeah, 9-1 and 2 hitters next inning for them too.
They showed fight in game 1, so it's not that this team is going to roll over. I think the Flames, they knew what they were stepping into playing against the Sooners today, and they came to fight.
3-2. That ball's hit deep to left field and over the head of Sweet. It's going to get all the way to the wall. Mendez racing for third. She'll slide in ahead of the throw. It's an RBI triple for the senior Mendez. And it's 10-2 Sooners as she smoked one into left field. The triple scores Johns and makes it 10-zip.
This is the Nicole Mendez I think that this Sooner Nation knows so well and has been ready to see. Having battling a leg injury, obviously with abbreviated season last year, this is the Nicole Mendez that this team knows so well.
Here's Tiare Jennings. Maybe, maybe not. We're going to have another trip to the circle. I don't know if anyone put a clock on this bottom half of the second inning, but we've had 3 pitchers. This is, at the very least, our 3rd trip to the circle. Dot Richardson is out talking to her infield. A passionate conversation from Dot.
Shocker.
Meanwhile, Paige Cassidy, the associate head coach, is having a good one-on-one, well, 1-on-2 with Naomi Jones and
I don't know
Catcher Hudson.
Dot ever has a conversation that's not passionate. She is a passionate coach.
Home plate umpire says, all right, this is enough. I'm going to go out and break this bad boy up. 10 runs on 9 hits with Tiare Jennings coming to the plate. She becomes the 12th batter here in the second inning. 7 hits so far for the Sooners in this inning. And 3 of those hits are home runs. See what Tiare Jennings has. She's 0 for 2 with Mendez at third and the Sooners up 10-0. First pitch, she takes up and away for ball 1. Jennings is the only starter who hasn't reached base yet.
You said it.
So she's due. Let's go. Isn't that funny to think that someone's hitting .529 and you say they're due? That's how good she's been. Swing and a miss on the 1-0. She's hitting .529 on the season. She has 38 RBIs. You mentioned it, 13 home runs, which I still think is good for second in the country. I'll have to check on some of the numbers from the other home run hitters around college softball. Chase the 1-1, strike 2.
She's coming out of her legs just a bit for these swing throughs. Not something you see typically from Jennings. She had her 5th strikeout of the year back in the 1st inning.
1-2. Boy, she hit that one hard foul.
So calm in the box, especially for a freshman.
Quick check of the stats. Does indeed have Jennings number 2 in the country behind Alo. Braxton Birdside out of Arkansas and Ainsley Gilroy out of Winthrop have 11 home runs. 1-2 is a little low, 2-2.
We just got a little wave from Jossie on the on-deck circle. She saw us up here.
She knows she made my day by hitting a couple of bombs. 3 Sooners are in the top 5 nationally in individual home runs. Jennings
Deep.
launches one pretty deep to left center field. It gets out of here. I didn't realize how much carry that bad boy had to it, but it's gone, and make it a 4 home run inning for the Sooners, and it's 12-0 Oklahoma.
Well, the power quad, as I call it, the first 4 in this lineup all have home runs in the second inning. Alo started it off. Lyons followed it up. Hansen with the 3rd homer, and now back to the top with Jennings.
It's 12-0 Sooners in the bottom of the second inning.
No pressure. No pressure. Alo back up to the plate.
Jocelyn's been attacking the first pitch a lot this year. She'll take this one low.
I like that name, Josso.
Josso.
I like it.
Jossie. It was kind of a combination of Jocelyn and Alo, and
Yeah.
I just put it together.
I mean, I like it.
She is 2 for 2 with a single and a 3-run home run earlier this inning. Here's the 1-0. Popped up, foul, and out of play. She had a mighty swing. And you mentioned it. I don't feel like you can say enough about how she's really taken her game to another level.
Yeah, she's in a totally different mindset than what she's been in the past 3 years.
1-1. Popped up. Right field. Facing out and making the catch is the second baseman, Bishop Riley, to end the inning. But what an inning. 8 hits. When all was said and done, 10 runs. And back-to-back-to-back home runs. 4 home runs in the inning. It's 12-0 Sooners on Sooner Sports TV, presented by OU Health. Sooner softball. And the Sooner defensive alignment will remain the same as Nicole May goes back to work in the 3rd, and the first pitch bunt attempt is foul by Madison Villa for strike 1. 12 runs on 10 hits for the Sooners. Liberty has the 1 hit and the error that was committed on the dropped pop fly. And you noticed something between innings. Dodd Richardson was all kinds of fired up, trying to get some fire under these flames. There's the 0-1. Just missed, low and away, 1-1.
I mean, I think her personality itself is intense, but you could tell the conversation that she had after her team walked off defense was charged with some force. I mean, she really got into her team about their response and what needs to show up right now.
That a taking of a 1-1 pitch to make it a ball and 2 strikes.
We had chatted the beginning of this game about response of OU's offense, but on both sides, you have a 10-run second inning with OU. Liberty has to respond here in order to hold off the run rule victory for OU.
The 1-2 in the dirt. And again, for those of you that are new to the sport, in an effort that has been pretty consistent, I think basically since the implementation of college softball, if you're ahead by 8 or more runs after 5 innings, that's ball game. So as long as the Sooners don't give up more than 4 runs, should be in good position to win this in run rule fashion. The 2-2 hit hard to Snow. Taylor does a nice job staying down on it, takes it to the bag, and there's one away for Autumn Bishop.
And I know you have this number. Quite a few games. Multiple games have been won in run rule fashion for OU.
Well, it's very fitting that you would actually bring that up, because Oklahoma is sitting at 21-0 right now of the season. Patty Gasso is going to make her way to the circle. We're going to have a Love's Travel Stop pitching change here. We haven't seen Shannon Sale yet today. Wonder if making her 9th appearance. Feel like We've talked about this a lot with Macy McAdoo and wanting to see Macy continue to have a good control of the strike zone. Olivia Raines out of Pryor appears to be one of those pitchers that could be relied upon in a big matchup situation as this season progresses. And the first pitch she throws is a ball. The lineup turns over to Autumn Bishop. And some strategy here too. This would be the second time, and for a couple of these batters, maybe even the third time they would see Nicole May, so get a fresh face out there. But fortunately, Raines' first two pitches both missed, 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, and even with the 12-run lead, there's still quite a bit of game left here. So to get a fresh arm in the circle, to get some reps, and as you said, give a new look to the Flames.
2-0 pitch misses low and away. Ball 3. Three balls, no strikes, the pitch. All 4. Well, that's not a promising start with a 4-pitch walk to Autumn Bishop. And here's Amber Bishop Riley. Second walk of the game surrendered by Sooner pitching. In fact, Amber Bishop Riley was the recipient of the first one back in the first inning.
Saw a home run off of the bat of Amber Bishop in game 1.
And a couple of hits, including a game-tying RBI as Raines pounds the zone for strike 1. 12-0 Sooners. We're in the top of the 3rd inning. The 0-1. There's a hard hit ball to left field. Nice play. Originally racing in Mackenzie Donahue, who has checked in left field, stands up and makes the catch. Pretty big time play for Donahue in left, who's not a traditional outfielder, to make that play.
Little jump shot for the catch. Has to get some air time to make the grab.
This is Cara Canedo. Netta reached on a fielder's choice her last time up and takes the first pitch low and away. Dot Richardson still coaching with every ounce of energy that she has in that third base coach's box, despite her team being down a dozen. The 1-0. Popped up shallow left field, racing out is Lyons to make it look easy and end the inning. Olivia Raines works around the walk, and the Sooners keep a goose egg on the board for the Flames. We head to the bottom of the 3rd. Oklahoma 12, Liberty 0 on Sooner.
Energize life. Riverwind, still the one.
Lyons skies one to center field, and it's misplayed by Carnetto in center field. She lets it fall, and Lyons is aboard with a first pitch double. What happened here, Aaron Miller? That high sky?
Oh, it is. High sky and sun for sure. I don't even know that a glove touched it.
I think you're right. Give her a double.
Give her a dub.
It's Kinsey Hansen.
I'll tell you, that is so frustrating in the outfield, dealing with sun, trying to protect your vision to try and get a glove on that ball without getting knocked in the head, right?
She almost got knocked in the head.
I'm telling you.
She almost got taken out by that ball, and she couldn't see it. Here's Kinsey Hansen. It's a 3-hit day, by the way, for Grace Lyons, as the first pitch into Hansen is a strike. So Grace Lyons singled in the first, homered in the second, now leads off the 3rd with a double. The Sooners are up 12-0 as Hansen strides to the plate. No balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. A little up, 1-1. Hansen's had herself a day. She walked and scored in the first inning, and then lined a homer that just wrapped itself around the foul pole down the left field line. One ball, one strike. The Sooner catcher is ready, and she hits this one deep to left field, and it's out of here. Boy, the Sooners are making up for some lost time in game 1 today. The 5th home run, the 2nd of the day for Hansen. And the extra point is good. It's 14-0 Sooners in the bottom of the third inning.
So I had somebody ask me the other day, what makes OU's offense so good? When it comes down to mechanics, something that you'll notice is that there's a focus on lower body, generating your own force and your own power. You can see big loads and big turns through the lower half portion of that swing. It's about transferring weight through the ball, and OU does it so well. Coming out of the coaching of Coach JT Gasso, his first year was back in 2016, my senior season at OU, and I remember that focus of him stepping into this program and implementing a lot of lower half focus, of using the strongest part of the female body. It really, of any athlete, is that lower half. And that's what OU does. They do it so well, and they focus on it in that box, using every ounce of that body weight.
First two pitches to Taylon Snow, missed slow and away. So a 2-0 count to Snow, who's reached base both times, but walked once and reached on a fielder's choice. She's looking for her first hit of the game, and quickly she's ahead on the count here, 3 balls and no strikes. Now this inning started with a bit of a challenge in center field for Carnetto, where she lost a battle with the sun. It ends up as a double for Grace Lyons. 214 feet on the homer for Kinsey Hansen. Home runs of the season brought to you by Whataburger, and there's a 4-pitch walk to Taylon Snow.
Well, I had tweeted about the back-to-back-to-back home runs, and that tweet has since aged and is no longer correct on the numbers.
Well, Hansen's home run was her 13th of the season. So just based on the NCAA stats, which are not updated as of yet, there's a good chance that after this weekend, the Sooners could have the number 1, 2, and 3 ranked home run hitters in the country. Zeta Pooney's going to get an opportunity to pinch hit here.
Well, and there's been argument and talk just about the strength of schedule thus far, and the type of pitching and competition that this team has faced. Has it been the toughest schedule yet? No, not by any stretch of the word. I think in a normal season you would have seen this team have a little bit of their feathers ruffled, possibly in the Mary Nutter out in Palm Springs. But regardless, these are numbers that are not easy to obtain. I don't care who you're facing, whether the ball's on a tee or not. I mean, the numbers they're putting up are just ridiculous.
14 runs today on 12 hits, 5 home runs. Zeta Pooney comes to play with a runner at first. The freshman is 2 for 6 to start the season. There's a wild pitch, but Snow's not going anywhere. She'll stay at first base with the Sooners up 14-0. Pooney did not make the first trip with the Sooners to El Paso, and Dot Richardson's going to jog out and have what I'm sure will be a passionate speech with her infield. Well, right now it's a one-on-one conversation between her and Naomi Jones. But speaking of Pooney, there's a lot of excitement about the Carson, California product by way of St. Anthony's High School. Played with the Bat Busters, very talented, good hands in the field. Play third or first. So far we've seen her in DP/pinch hitting situations, but she's got an impressive bat, impressive hands, an athletic family. Her uncle Michael played football at USC. Her aunt was a softball player at Oregon State.
Nice.
Everyone wanted her. Oregon, Arizona, Florida. She chose the Sooners. She's ahead on the count here, 2 balls and no strikes. Snow at first, and John's waiting on deck. The pitch. All 3.
Oregon State, my softball hero, my idol growing up, is Miss Laura Berg, who is now the head coach at Oregon State. She was an outfielder, and her motto was outfielders rule, so that has stuck with me ever since, because I was an outfielder myself.
There's the 3-0 to Pooney, called strike 3 and 1. We made that trip in 18.
Yes. Talk about playing Oregon State?
Yes.
We played in 2016, I think.
Yeah, they came
my
here.
Senior season, yeah. Well, we faced them, I believe it was in Palm Springs.
3-1 foul back. Do you remember what was key about that game in Palm Springs against Oregon State?
They beat us.
They beat us on a walk-off.
Yeah.
But Leah Wodak had an inside-the-park home run.
Yep, I remember that too.
I think the left fielder broke down. I don't know what happened.
I think it was like a home run walk-off or
Yeah.
something. It was something dramatic.
Yeah, and that was one of the wildest weekends as the 3-2 pitch is pop foul, and then the foreshadowing of it. We played Michigan in a 3.5-hour game that
was the Romero face-off.
That's right, and then the foreshadow those two teams playing again in the Women's College World Series, and you guys getting the best of them.
It's easy to reminisce with you playing. It's easy.
Well, it's one of the few things I actually remember. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Pooney. Line shot into right field. It falls for a hit, and it gets past Villa in right field. Rounding third and heading home is Snow. Zeta Pooney on her way to third. A head-first fly to the third base from Pooney. It's a triple from the freshman, and Oklahoma's on top 15-0.
Are we officially ruled a triple there? I think it is.
I mean, why not? She went up and got it.
And out. Wow. It's a hard hit ball. Hard hit to right field. Villa unable to stay down on that, and a head first celebratory slide into third base.
I think Riley Boone liked it as much as anyone. As here's Jana Johns. She's 1 for 2, and she just got hit.
It's her third hit by pitch of the day.
Either Liberty really has something against Gianna Johns, or she's done a good job of crowding the plate. She's taken 2 off the Evo shield. That one looked like it was right off the thigh. Ouch. So this was Grace Green's spot in the lineup. She walked. Mackenzie Donahue came in and Pins ran for her. And Donahue has kind of taken over ever since. She bats with runners at first and third. Nobody out here in the bottom of the third. The first pitch is low for a ball. 15-0 Sooners. You can sense the frustration from Naomi Jones. They're counting on her. There is nobody throwing right now in the Liberty pen. Here's the 1-0 pitch from the righty. Called strike.
Good spot right on the outer half.
Donahue takes a little walk.
Donahue had popped out to the first baseman back in the second inning.
They made a nice play in left field. The top half of this inning, she fouls off the 1-1 pitch, a ball and 2 strikes. We mentioned Riley Boone celebrating the headfirst slide from Zeta Pooney. She's moved into the on-deck circle. I think Zeta Pooney just wanted to make life a little bit rough on Jake Scroggins and the equipment staff. Make sure that white uniform,
dirty up that uniform,
and doesn't look too clean. Here's the 1-2. Look, 2 balls, 2 strikes. That dirt just hits different on those white uniforms, to be honest with you. Two balls, 2 strikes. Pitch to Donahue. How foul down the right side.
I would be lying if I said there wasn't a little bit of pride in a dirty uniform after a long day of softball. Nobody wants to have a totally white uniform.
No.
No one.
Last thing you want. And with the score 15-0, I would imagine Sooners likely having one more at bat. We'll see the bench empty a little bit more. Donahue rips one into center field. Pooney scores. It's 16-0. And Lou continues the hot start to her season. And for Zeta Pooney, second run of her career.
Such a good at-bat, too, and not a bad pitch. Low and out in that strike zone. She's able to see that ball where it's hit, extending right up the middle of the field.
Well, I thought that it might be Naomi Jones' game, but Liberty is going to go ahead and have a pitching change here as we'll go back to Megan Johnson, who had started the opener. She'll re-enter here and become the 4th pitcher of the day. There was a stint in the in the second inning where the starter Kirby went out. They brought in Wagner for a spell, and she was gone. Then Naomi Jones came in, and I think Todd Richardson wants to see some strikes thrown here. And so Megan Johnson will get the call. The Sooners jumped on top in a very odd first inning of this game, as this pitching change is brought to you by Love's Travel Stops. We'll keep it here. Love's Travel Stops, clean places, friendly faces. Jocelyn Allo extended her hitting streak to 36 straight games with a single in the first. After a single by Lyons and a walk to Kinsey Hansen, Allo scored on an infield groundout by Taylon Snow. In fact, still trying to make sense of this ball off the bat of Snow. Look, looks like it's going to be foul. Nope, stays fair. Allo scores. And then the dropped pop fly to center field allows Hansen to score. Then the bats just went crazy in the second inning.
4 home runs.
Back to back to back, and the Sooners are rolling to 0. Riley Boone digs in with nobody out and runners at first and second, and the first pitch misses outside from Megan Johnson.
Our very own Kenny Mossman tweeting, the Sooners sending home runs out of Hall of Fame Stadium at an alarming rate. If you're traveling I-35, take an alternate route.
Wouldn't blame you on that. No, one of those softballs comes flying, and that could do some damage. Here's the 1-0 to Boone. She lifts this one fouling out of play. All of you who were biting your nails at the end of game 1, this has been a nice, relaxing game 2. As Oklahoma has done nothing but prove the power of this offense. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Boone, getting her first at bat of game 2. It's in the dirt.
Well, it makes you wonder what the between game talk was from Coach Gasso, having game 1 be such a nail biter.
It's a good question.
Yeah, what the motivation was.
Whatever it was, it worked.
It worked.
Need to bottle that. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss.
Big cut. Booney, another one with a lot of speed. Similar to Coleman in the fact that she's got that triple threat. She can lay down a bunch, she can hit, she can run through. Speed is such a hard thing to defend.
2-2 pitch. Fouled it off her ankle. Ouch. You see something like that, and you watch an athlete walk it off, and you're like, ah, she's fine. And then something like Grace Lyons' picture from whenever she fouled one off her ankle, and there's that huge bruise.
Painful. There's a reason. There is a reason why athletes wear those ankle guards. It's because when you're hitting a foul ball off the bat coming off at 50, 60 miles an hour to the shin.
Ouch.
Yowza.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch to Boone. Just misses outside. Full count. There's still nobody out in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Grace Lyons led this thing off with a Sun-aided double. Sooners got the home run from Hansen, and they haven't slowed down. First and second, there's a pop-up on the infield just past the glove of the pitcher. The shortstop not going to get Boone. Good job by Chanel, but Boone's too quick, and the bases are loaded for Tiare Jennings.
For Liberty, just looking to stop the bleeding. It looks like Dot Richardson will come out.
She going to argue here.
Talking to some umpires.
What if is she trying to say something about where the runner was? Well, whatever the protest was, it didn't last very long. I don't know if she's madder now at Chanel, her shortstop, or what had transpired there. I mean, she's not going to get an infield fly rule on that, so maybe she thought there was some interference with the runner. Regardless, the bases are loaded with nobody out in the bottom of the 3rd for Tiare Jennings. Last time up, she bombed a homer over the left field wall. One player who's standing all by her lonesome in the camera well just beyond the Sooner dugout might be the true star of today, and that sounds crazy in a 16-run game. But you can't help but be in awe of what Nicole May did today. Here's a pop-up, foul territory. Is there room to make a play? There is. Oh, what a play against the dugout by the first baseman, Bishop. And there's one away, and the bases will stay loaded for Jocelyn Allo. Look at this play.
That is a tough catch to make. She finds the fence, leans over into the net, and finds her glove right over the top of that dugout. Tough.
One out for Allo. Jossie popped out to second base her last time up. She's 2 for 3 with a 3-run home run and a single. She scored 2 runs. First pitch, low and in. Allo's current average is at .556. You heard that right. She has not made an out when batting with the bases loaded this year. A smooth 1,000, and takes the 1-0 pitch low and away. 2-0. 19 home runs on the season. 49 RBIs.
Coming into game 2, over 1,000 slugging.
She may add to that here, the 2-0. Well, checked her swing on a good pitch on the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike.
15 hundo on the slugging percentage.
That's good.
It's pretty good. That's what happens when you hit 19 bombs.
Let's talk about the runs that she scored this year compared to her RBIs. It's incredible. Patty Gasso has found a good spot for her here in the 2-hole. The 2-1 pitch is popped up into center field. Could be trouble, but racing out to make the catch is Chanel, the shortstop, and there's 2 away. Grace Lyons becomes the 10th batter for the Sooners here in the 3rd, and for the 2nd straight inning, the Sooners have batted around.
Big out for Johnson in the circle to induce that pop-up off the bat of Allo.
So here's Grace Lyons, who has a 3-hit game, homered, singled, and doubled. Oh, she's a triple away from the cycle. I hadn't even thought about that. Here's the first pitch to Lyons. She pops one into right field. Should be an easy play for Villa, who makes the catch and ends the inning. The Sooners strand the bases loaded, but put 4 more on the board. And as we head to the 4th, it's Oklahoma 16, Liberty 0. Not go to her bench much. But Liberty will go with Danae Griffin. The first pitch a little low for ball 1. So in Blake Gibson's spot, basketball in the mind, March Madness, right? We'll get a chance for the first time today to see the sophomore, Danae Griffin. Here's the 1-0 from Olivia Raines. It's a little bit up, not by much. Where did that pitch miss? 2 balls and no strikes. I mean, listen, it's 16-0. The fine points of the strike zone are lost on me at this point as the 2-0 pitch is fouled off. Jocelyn Allo hit her 19th home run of the season. She is at 73 home runs now for her Sooner career. She's in 2nd all by herself. She has moved into 7th all-time on the career RBI list, surpassing Shea Knight. 200 career RBIs. Here's the 2-1. Ball 3. Just missed low.
Just low, yeah. Raines really working that drop ball. You can see her try and get that body on top, hand on top to get the movement down in the zone.
The 3-1. Ball 4. So the last thing you want in this situation is free passes. Wonder if Dodd Richardson will continue to use pinch hitters as Caroline Hudson will step to the plate here. There's a lot of questions about this season as far as a historic number for Jocelyn Allo, as the first pitch is in for a strike to Hudson. Lauren Chamberlain had 30 home runs, as did Jossie her freshman season, so that's the single season record for Oklahoma. The 0-1 pitch is Bounce slowly towards third. Johns will go to first. There's one away. The single season record was set in 1995 by Laura Espinoza. She hit 37 in 72 games that season. That's the single season college softball record. I'm not on pace guy, but I would assume that with 19 home runs through now 22 games, she's in a good spot. The first pitch is in for a strike to Emily Sweat. 5 players ever have hit more than 30 home runs in a season. Of course, Chamberlain's one of those, but Jocelyn Allo is hitting a home run every 3.3 at bats, which is ridiculous compared to, say, Espinoza, who hit a home run every 6.2 at bats. Oh, 30 or more. I'm sorry, more than 30. Excuse me, I botched the number because both Jossie and Lauren had 30 in the season. This is more than 30. Espinoza, Lexi Elkins, Camila Carrera, Stacy Chambers, and Stacy Newman. And my goodness, Allo's hitting one every 3.3 at bats. For Espinoza was 6.2.
That was before they recorded her 19th home run.
Unreal.
That was based on 18. Crazy.
Sweat is 1 for 1. Had kind of a rough second game for Emily out in left field. It's the 1-2 pitch to left. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Raines trying to spot that off speed.
16-0 Sooners here, top of the 4th. Here's the 2-2. Fouled straight back. So, just out of curiosity, at what point do you think teams stop pitching to Jocelyn? And then can you truly afford to do that with the hitters that are around her now?
I think that
the quad of home run hitters.
That is. And that's the power of having that protection. When you've got a Jennings in front of you and a Lyons, a Hansen, I mean.
Swing and a miss, 2 away on the strikeout.
So what do? Walk the bases loaded? You know, you walk potentially Allo, and then you turn around and see 2 more home run hitters right behind her. Such a good pitch from Raines, pulling the string.
Unbelievable. We are, you know, it's kind of interesting as 2 outs for Mary Claire Wilson. We haven't seen Carly Keeney as the first pitch is in for a strike. She's the Liberty ace. 7-2 on the season, kind of odd that we haven't seen her today. And just kind of sharing some notes, I'm pretty sure those who put together the scouting reports for this Sooner softball team had fully expected to see her at some point today, but we haven't seen her at all. As Raines misses with the 0-1, a ball and a strike. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, runner at second. Oklahoma firmly in control here, leading 16-0. Raines brings home the 1-1. This is high, 2-0. Basically, we're going to be able to take you right into the second game of baseball against Arkansas State today, and then right into the NCAA tournament selection show. How about that? Here's the 2-1. Popped up, shallow right field, racing out is C.R.A. Jennings to make the catch, and that ends the 4th. Confirming a couple of positional changes for Liberty. Or re-entries, that's what it was. As the first pitch to Lindsey Elam to lead things off in the bottom of the 4th from Megan Johnson. Is hit pretty deep to left field, and not deep enough. Sweat is back on it, makes the catch, and there's 1 away. So Dodd Richardson has gone with the same 9 in the field the whole way today. Hudson behind the plate, Wilson at third, Schnell at short, with the Bishop sisters, Bishop, Riley at second, and Bishop at first, and then Villa in right, Canetto in center, and Sweat in left. But we have seen 4 different pitchers here today, at least in this game, and we haven't seen their ace. Paige Knight gets her first at bat of the day. Ground ball, nice play on the backhand by Chanel. Throws across, and there's quickly 2 away. Paige Knight hit it hard, but right at Chanel, and what a play in that 6-hole.
Wow. Able to backhand this ball in the 5-6 hole, off-foot throw, and gets her well in time.
Wow. 2 away, and here's Kinsey Kelso with her first at bat of the day. Kinsey making sure that everything is... Patty Gasso, I don't know if the mics picked that up, but she said, I already did it. I love Coach.
Quit asking.
I got it. I got you, Kinsey. The Tuttle product digs in. The first pitch is a little low.
I've been in scenarios where she forgot, so.
That's great. Coach is standing just outside of that extended area by the dugout, and you can imagine there's been some happy conversations with Nicole May down there. Still a long way to go in this season, but this was a big day for Nicole May. The 1-0 is low to Kelso. 2 balls and no strikes, and you might say 16-0. Not a lot to play for here, but for the Lindsey Elams, the Paige Knights, and the Kinsey Kelso, you want to show, hey, Coach, I'm worthy of at-bats in games in crunch time. 2-0 swing and a miss. I think there is a lot of confidence in this team right now. They're ready. They're ready for Big 12 play, and I think they're going to be ready for next week, and I think that's going to be a fun challenge to take on Team Mexico next Saturday.
Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait to watch that.
The 2-1. Ball's hit high in the air to center field. More problems with the sun for Carnetto, but she finds it, gets under, and makes the catch, and ends the inning. Willa and Shannon Sale will take over to close this out for the Sooners. Hadn't seen Shannon yet today, so Patty Gasso getting her a half innings of work here. You hope. Oklahoma in run rule territory, leading it 16-0 on Sooner Sports TV, presented by OU Health. Let's take a look at the upcoming Sooner home athletic events, presented by Kincaid Coach. Baseball has a challenging one on its hand right now with Arkansas State. They're playing 2 today, and they'll play again tomorrow at 1 p.m. And then we're back home next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for a showdown with Team Mexico. Should be a fun one. 6 o'clock with that first pitch on Friday night. And then baseball next weekend will welcome in Houston. It's a good look at Shannon Sale, the super senior, getting an opportunity today. Started the first game yesterday for the Sooners against Houston. Kind of struggled with her control. The first pitch is a little bit up to Savannah Chanel, who had a nice bottom of the 4th inning, made a big play in the hole to Rob Paige Knight. Tired Paige on that hard hit ball. Here's the 1-0. Fouls back. Pitching changes, as always, brought to you by Love's Travel Stops. Clean places, friendly faces. As Sale checks in with what has been a solid 2021 for Sale.
She's been a strong arm for this staff, a reliable arm. Also, I think a voice of leadership for this group of pitchers. As you mentioned, a super senior, knows the ropes, played in tough ball games.
She's fallen behind here, 2 balls and a strike. 2-1. 3. Sale this season had been so in control with her control that in that opening game against Houston yesterday, 5 walks. She only had 4 heading into the game. 3-1 pitch is fouled back. In her last 11 innings, she's walked 8 batters, but has struck out 17. In her previous 13 innings, she'd only walked 1 batter the entire season. 3-2, fouled off. Look out. Dance done in that second section to get out of the way of that.
Good battle at the plate. Again, we've got 8, 9, and 1 coming up for the Flames. And you talk about kind of the role of the bottom half of this lineup to turn over the lineup back up to those Bishop sisters in the 1 and 2 hole for Liberty.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Sooners up 16-0, looking to pick up a run rule win. Sale brings it home. Swing and a miss. Strike three, 41st strikeout of the season for Shannon Sale, and there's one away. Here's Madison Villa. Or at least, what is Madison Villa's spot in the lineup?
Check out this pitch. Low rise ball right under the letters for a perfect swing through. That's exactly where you want that pitch placed.
Here's the first pitch to Villa, who will indeed hit. Sale misses low and away. 24 now in a third innings pitched this season for Sale. 41 strikeouts, 9 walks. She's only allowed 5 hits. An ERA that is minuscule. In fact, it's 0. Here's the 1-0 outside. She hasn't allowed an earned run this season. Lindsey Elam's going to jog out and chat. The only thing, and you really got to nitpick to find any issue, is just to continue to balance her issues sometimes with control. She loaded the bases in the first inning yesterday against the Houston Cougars.
Well, and I don't think that's nitpicky at all. I think that that is something that has to be ironed out heading into conference play, tougher competition, higher RPI competition later on in the season.
2-0 pitches in for a strike, 2-1. This has been an absolutely perfect day for softball. 2-1 pitch swing through, 2-2.
But I mean, to your point, when you have an offense that puts up the numbers that they do, attacking the strike zone early should be encouraged, right?
Absolutely.
Throw the ball in the zone, let your defense work. You've got room to give up some things, but don't you dare give up free bases, right?
Yeah,
You can't
absolutely.
defend that.
And that's, again, that's the biggest issue sometimes with the bullpen, and wanting to throw more Olivia Raines and Macy McAdoo and even Shannon Sale at times. Just throw strikes. The 2-2 outside ball 3. Some of the numbers that have been put together by this team are just amazing. But don't lose sight of the pitching numbers, you know. Heading into this weekend, they had gone 21 innings. I think by the time that Houston finally got a run in the third, they'd gone close to 23, almost 24 innings without giving a run. That's 3 full 7-inning games. Foul that one off the netting. Look out in the Sooner dugout. Set the lineup for you. Haven't updated the new look outfield for the Sooners with Riley Boone in center. Mackenzie Donahue has moved to right, and Kinsey Kelso, I believe, out there in left field. No, that's Janet. Nope, yeah, that's Kelso out in left field. Sorry.
Who you got?
Who do I have? I have no idea. Here's the 3-2. Ground ball towards short. Lyons makes it look easy, and there's 2 away. That's the one thing sometimes about the outfield is a couple games ago you look out and is that Kelso? You
Who
see
is
the blonde hair with the French braids, and you think, no, wait, that's Jana Johns. Wait, is Jana Johns at third? Coach Castle will move around on you, but Kelso's in left, Boone's in center, and Donahue's out and right. Same infield that started the game, and there's 2 outs. First pitch is fouled straight back. Leadoff hitter Autumn Bishop. Shannon Sale, so I'm not going to say it, Grant Wade. Grant Wade gave us oh, they already put it on the screen. So the Sooners are trying to pitch their 13th shutout of the game, of the season. Now, that's the kind of stat that gets popped up and Bishop hits one over the fence. As the 1 pitch she swings through on that nasty rise from Shannon Sale.
I feel like
no balls and 2 strikes.
only play-by-play and analysts tune into the jinx nature. Yeah.
Right. Oh, no, listen, G. Juarez got on me for mentioning a no-hitter. And then everyone piled on, including Aaron Araval.
Hey, we got to do our job up here and call what we see.
0-2, popped up. Is it going to be in play for Johns? She shields the sun, makes the catch. Win column Sooners. There we go. 13th shutout of the season for Sooner pitching. Yet another run rule win, and Oklahoma improves to 22-0 on the season. The #1 team in the country makes a statement. Final score, Oklahoma 16, Liberty 0.